this trader has an edge, but it's built on plastic belief. Like, I believe in my trading. I believe I understand the markets. I believe, versus real belief, which is backing your ideas, backing your trades. What does backing mean? Ask for more size on the trades that make sense, and don't trade anything on the trades that are just 50-50. Day after day for 5 days in a row, he just chipped away at an account that he was leaking for 6 months. Peter, there's a trade I want to discuss that was literally on the brink of being stopped out. It was his second rendezvous with Axia. But this is a trader that I know works incredibly hard. It's why we've decided to back him again. He's one of the very rare and few traders that we've backed, but he also proved to us over the years of how much he wants it, that he has this learning acumen, and this little episode, which was the last week, he recovered maybe about 6 months or so of negative results in pretty much in 4 days. Yeah. And he's up on account from being on the verge of being stopped out. Now, there's a in our book, Traders of Our Time, the collectors chapter, there's a part in that chapter where the collector was literally on his last bit of rope with the team, with the risk management, and they said, you need to perform or we're going to ship you out. And so this is and that's, Traders of Our Time, and the stories, all of these stories bleed into other people's stories. These don't stop, and a large part of Axia, and the reason why we do these series is just to remind those of the aspect of resilience, belief, and this trader, he came, joined us in Cyprus, joined the team. He has this journey of first joining our office in Poland, then started performing, then went to Sao Paulo, traded remote, struggled, realized that he had to be back on the floor, came across the boat from Sao Paulo to Cyprus, joined the team, loved the team. I mean, he was so bought into the culture, into the team, and that also helps, it helps us as a performance and coaching team to give people more rope when we believe that they buy in to the culture. And those ones who are invested, those ones who are willing to contribute. But you can have all of that. But this game is still ridiculously challenging and difficult. And so what we were struggling on is that, for the last month, we were just tired of not seeing him fulfilling his potential. And it happens a lot on the floors. And so, Peter, can you recollect or run us through a bit of the timeline? Because I know quite a few of us were involved in this timeline over the last week. But he had a special week. He had his best week ever since he joined the team here in Cyprus. He had his first 5-figure day. And I'm, touch wood, I hope he just received some type of positive reinforcement that he has what it takes.
Yeah. I want to go back to the beginning as well, from when he did come to our floor, because again he was on the Poland floor, and he came here and he had his own story, his own lenses of the markets and what he's been doing, and it's always tough to kind of see somebody not perform and almost kind of struggle and trying to intervene and trying to get the best out of it, because that's what we're trying to do. Ultimately, we're trying to formulate a framework around a trader to improve his performance as a trader, as a person, as somebody who needs to perform and who wants to perform, and he does. His enthusiasm, his experience. I have wonderful conversations with him because of his experience in the markets and the way he sees the markets and the way he trades, and it's been refreshing as well for somebody who trades slightly differently to some.
He had effectively he has he had the Polish DNA, or more the razor DNA of trading. So those who read Traders of Our Time, the Razors chapter, he's a descendant of the razor and the Polish DNA.
Exactly. And again, incredible to speak to him about that. But when he did come to Cyprus again, what we are offering on our floor and what we're really trying to do is that culture, as we spoke about previously, the teamwork, the foundation, that organic growth of a team that will just improve everybody as a whole. And he loved that. He was absolutely, infatuated by the whole process and amazed about the sharing and the cultivation of ideas between all of the traders of all different levels, and even enjoying going onto the grad floor and speaking to them and seeing their viewpoints, and just so open. But then to see him, unfortunately, just going through a rough patch himself, it's difficult to see at times. So of course we have a whole team, Oris team, and being part of Axia is you are part of a team, not just your traders, co-traders that are around you on the space, but you have risk managers, you have coaches, you have mentors, you've got performance specialists, right? And my job is to also trying to, as best as I can, broker the right connections with the traders where we can, and our head mentor and coach of traders did speak to me about this individual. This trainer said, I'm going to have a chat with him. Where are we at with him? And
okay, cool. Eric, our head of training.
Eric, our head of trading. Phenomenal experience of a man. And he said, where are we with him? And I gave the whole backstory of where we've been going with him. And he had a great chat with Eric.
Reached out to him.
So reached out to him and had a great chat with this particular trader. And following that, I wanted to kind of also see where we are at. And I had my conversation with this particular trader. And I put my viewpoints and things that and we as a collective, we have our own discussions internally of what we love to see from this individual and where he's strong at and where are some of the weaknesses. And I put in my input of where I really wanted to see him perform. As somebody I'm his primary, I want to really see him grow into the potential that we have all seen that he can give. And so I interjected, and we had a good chat for a good hour, and we discussed ideas and what we wanted to see. And then of course you also had a conversation with him, and then this shift.
But even before that, before we kind of do the reveal, is one of the things that we both challenging him on, and I think this is a lesson for anyone who's watching. And I write down if you face this challenge, in the comments section. Is firstly, there's two elements. There's belief, or what I call plastic belief versus real belief. So plastic belief in trading is I'm working hard every day, I'm doing my debriefs, I'm rocking up, I'm trading, and he actually, this trader has an edge. But it's built on plastic belief, like I believe in my trading, I believe I understand the markets, I believe, versus real belief, which is backing your ideas, backing your trades. What does backing mean? Putting the size that those trades deserve. So you could believe you rock up every day, I'm working on my trading, at the end of the day, so, I could have made this, I could have made that. But until you get your proverbial, balls on the line and truly back yourself, that's real belief. And so one of the things that we observed between, the coaches, Eric, yourself and myself, is that he was trading excessive amounts of products, many products, with a very similar type of strategy and approach, but he probably had core set of products where he had strategies and setups and plays that he truly believed in. This is a pure technical trader, again, a descendant from the razor. And his issue is he was diversifying in every single pond, in every single playground, instead of focusing in a couple of areas and going deep and backing his trades. And so we said, start cutting out your 50-50 trades and start actually increasing size, and come to the risk team, come to the performance team and ask for more size. Ask for more size on the trades that make sense, and don't trade anything on the trades that are just 50-50. And so he looked at us and said, like, what? I can get more. So I said, if the trade makes sense and you explain to us, and that's always the same, like whenever a trader comes to Peter on the floor and, and we have our protocol, we have our checklist. Whenever a trader comes to you on the floor and they want to ask for more size, we're very happy to give the size, but what do you know about this trade? What's the history you have? What is it that you're looking? I want to trade the Brazilian real on a new president that's coming. Okay, what's your play? What's your structure? What's the narrative? Where are you going to find the news? How are you going to source it? How are you going to execute it? And then if it gives good, we trust them.
Or if he says, I just want to have it in case something, then listen.
And how often do you get that? I just want to have it. You have it for what? We're not in this game for dead weight money either on their trading account. Like if they just have size across the spectrum, 4 plays. Now, when you become a senior trader, you can have that because you've trained intuition, you've trained your ability to, even if you haven't planned something, you know it's important. Whereas a junior trader, along his journey, has to deliberately think. So all of a sudden, and I think all the coaches stared him in the eye, and it was initiated by a very experienced head of live traders, Eric, and throttle him. And what Eric's great at, he'll stare you and he'll ask you deep questions. He won't, there's sometimes you need a message where you're not beating around the bush from a coach. And I think it awakened him. And sometimes a trader needs a certain message at a certain time. And so he got a message from 3 of us. Started with, the great Frenchman. And as he came in, staring him down the barrel in the eye and saying, start believing in yourself. Start backing his trades. And my gosh, day after day for 5 days in a row, he just chipped away at an account that he was leaking for 6 months. And you see, I don't know, you've spoken to him once or twice. What was that? Did you notice an energetic shift? Or
Huge. It was almost kind of like not an exorcism, but my God, it was like, it was a huge shift because again, talking about the actual idea and the point of this was his conviction was here, but yet he was asking and playing around with all these other things, the circle of competence, non-competence, things that we talk about so many times. And we're like, why push for these things when if you've got X, Y, Z ready to go and you see that opportunity come, why are you not full blasting? Or why are you coming and asking for these products of things because maybe you might be hearing around the room or you want to experiment with these different things when you've got something that that works and that you need to now start performing? My God, you want size on that? Great, we'll give it to you so you can go into SIP gear, so you can get that, right? And then when he did, and when he when I saw him, I saw him coming down the corridor, and I knew where, that day when he got that 5-figure day, and I was like, Jordan going there, he's like, no, I need to get some air. Like he was just almost elevated. This whole new life was just kind of spawned into him, and we're like, right, well, this is it now. And the one thing that we're very good at Axia, as traders, as coaches, mentors, as a team, as a company, is we know when there's momentum, we go.
We want our traders, and it happens both ways. We want our traders to push the risk and performance team for more size, and at the same time, we want to push them too. And so, because we just know, not pushing when things are working is a risk in itself. Because and also, one of the observations, I think one of the reasons why our head of live traders, Eric, reached out to him was there was a week where his kind of strategy was in play and he should have been making money because traders of a similar guise, a similar design were doing well. Why not him? And because his focus was too spread out, and in the beginning as a junior trader, your focus will be spread out because you're still trying to deliver competence into your game. Whereas this trader has some experience. You need to pay yourself now. And there's that moment where stop dicking about and start paying yourself. And just seeing that even now, listen, it's still the start of many. We hope that we'll be here in another 2 years' time speaking about him having his first, 7-figure year. But there was a conversion of, if we were to summarize, from plastic belief to real belief by backing an edge. There's a difference between belief when you have no edge and have no strategy, then keep it as plastic belief, just work hard. And then the other aspect is you got some edge in a couple of markets, start focusing all your risk and energetic deployment of capital in that space.
And this is why now, like, we've got all these grads that are now, here in Cyprus and in London and in our new offices now and everything. And that is something that, again, we're trickling down into these grads, which is find the opportunities, see what resonates with you, where you find where you do have that conviction, and really push. And so these stories that we do, these conversations that we have, these experiences that we're living, are for all of the grads, all of the live guys, all the guys that are trading remotely or they're trading on floors. It's impactfully powerful to understand that a small shift can just come out of nowhere, but being part of a team just increases and improves that ability of that to happen.
No, I mean, huge, Peter, in the sense that, firstly, for those who are watching, I'd love to know if you've ever had that experience where you were on your knees and something shifted. But I mean, just to reiterate to your point, when you are in a team, someone can observe your blind spot that uncover a dormant ability that, once it's brought to the surface, you can put up the P&L and change your trading career.